thanks for coming out. I'm Crystal, your student ministries pastor. Sorry I'm not there physically, but you're right here. Also, my pet cacti wants to say hi as well. His name is Prickles. I'm going to set him by my Bible, but he's going to join us for this video. So, we just finished our Absorb series, and now we have a new series, and it's called Vital. You might be thinking, well, what's vital mean? And so vital is about keeping your worship alive. So when something's vital, it's absolutely necessary. It's extremely important and it's essential. The last time you went to the doctor, you probably noticed the doctor or nurse taking your vital signs. And that's just when they check to see if you're alive. They usually check your breathing, your heart, your pulse, all that kind of stuff to make sure that you're healthy and you're living. And so when we get to worship, worship is vital for our relationship with Jesus. Without worship, we're stagnant, we aren't growing, we're basically dead. And so when we worship Jesus, we're telling him how good he is. And when we tell God how good he is, it takes the focus off us and puts our focus on God, who gave us life, who gave us all of this stuff that we're surrounded by, and he should be worshipped. And so we're going to go to a passage in Mark. So the book of Mark, chapter 12, verses 41 through 44. And it says, "A poor widow gives all she has. Jesus sat down opposite the place where the offerings were put and watched the crowd putting their money into the temple treasury." So basically the offering plate was going around and Jesus was kind of looking around to see what people were putting in it. Many rich people threw in large amounts, but a poor widow came and put in 2 very small copper coins, worth only a fraction of a penny. Not even a full penny, a fraction of it. Calling his disciples to him, Jesus said, "I tell you the truth. This poor widow has put more into the treasury than all the others. They all gave out of their wealth, but she, out of her poverty, put in everything, all she had to live on." So the rich people just threw in money to make themselves look good. They had tons of money, so what's a couple thousand? Just throw it into the plate. But the widow came forward and put in a fraction of a penny. Not even half a penny, a fraction of it. So imagine like a penny cut into 4 and taking a little piece and putting that into the offering plate. But Jesus surprises his disciples when he was saying she gave more than all the rich people. And they were probably like, "What? A fraction of a penny is more than $1 million? Jesus, I think you're getting your math wrong here." But it wasn't about how much people gave. It was about their hearts and where their hearts were when they were giving. Now, nowhere in the Bible does it say how much each person should give. It's hinted at a lot, saying that we should give around 10% of either our money, our time, our energy, anything that God gives us. Which 10% isn't that much when you think of it. So to give a little visual, I have this pen cup. I counted the pens earlier, and there's 10 pens here. And this is a lot of pens. And these pens represent a job or our objects, our video games, or anything that we own. God only wants 10% of it. So that's 1 pen out of these 10 pens. I still have a handful of pens that I can keep for myself. God only wants a little fraction of it. But sometimes we hoard it all. And God tells us that we should give what our hearts tell us to give. So what is God telling you to give? And just like the widow gave until it hurt, she gave all she had, telling God that she depended on Him to provide for her. And when we don't give anything or just give minimal, give our leftovers of our paycheck, we aren't really depending on God. And so when we give, we should give until it hurts. And what God is telling us to give. And the more you cling on to your money or your objects, the more God's probably going to tell you to give. Because what you value, that's where your heart's at. What you value is where your heart's at. So maybe you can't give money, you don't have a job or anything, you just get money here and there. So you can give time instead, time and energy. God gave you the time, the 24 hours you have in a day. And so if you were to give 10% of your day, your time to God, that's 2.4 hours a day, which is almost 2.5 hours. So basically the length of a movie that you watch. And if you were to add it up in a whole week, that's 14 hours a week that you should be spending with God. If you were to give Him 10% of your time. And that's just minimal, 10%, just a suggestion. But again, God tells us to give what He tells us to give. So ask God and listen to your heart. The widow gave a fraction of a penny, but she gave God her whole heart. Her whole heart. Give your whole heart to God, whether it's through money, your time, your actions. And that's a way that you can keep your worship alive. Tell God how good He is. We're going to pray and then you are dismissed for small group time. Dear God, thank you so much for everything that you give us. Everything that we see around us is from you. Our paycheck, our time, our cacti, whatever you give us, God, it's from you, and we should be giving some of that back to you, God. Thanks for letting us keep most of what you give us and enjoy it. That's awesome that you do that. But God, I pray that we would not only give our stuff, our part of our money, our time, whatever it may be, but God, thank you for giving yourself for us. You gave everything. You gave your all. You gave your life for us. And the least we can do is put a little money in the plate or give a little bit of time to you, God. I pray that you would speak to us and let us know what you want us to give. We love you, God, with all our hearts, and I pray that it will be displayed in what we give and give joyfully. Because, God, you're the one that gave us everything that we own. So thanks again, God. We love you. Thank you. Amen. Okay, guys, small group time. I miss you. I'll see you next week, though. Bye-bye.